So I'm Priti Ambani, and I'm here to talk about my own diverse journey. My journey has been a squiggly line, and I'm here to share part of it because I think it's important for all of us to understand that we can do it. We can be whoever we want. So I grew up in Bombay. And I was born in a typical middle-class Indian family, and my dad was an engineer, and that's what I had to do. So my mom was a tiger, typical Asian tiger mom, and I never just even for a minute doubted that I couldn't be an engineer, or I couldn't do STEM, or I couldn't do what my brother could do, who's also an engineer. So we grew up in that kind of atmosphere, and it was quite a journey, quite a squiggly line, and I wanted to share that. And this is sort of the quote I live by, and that's the big point of why I want to share my unique story here. You can't be what you can't see. And this has been a defining quote in my life. And it's sort of, if I look back, I feel like my journey has, whatever work I've done has sort of followed this. And it's really important for us as super diverse women to not only look out for role models, but also be them for everybody else. My first 7 jobs, just to show you what that wonderful journey has been. So I was born and raised in Bombay. I'm a civil and environmental engineer by education. At 21, I moved to the States to do my master's. And I started on a really hardcore engineering career as an environmental designer. And during the course of that, I realized that looking back, the engineering career was in some ways lacking something. I didn't know what it was. But then when my first son was born, I took it upon myself that I didn't want to do something that I was not completely vested in 100%. So I quit my job as working 70-hour weeks as a designer and started exploring technology and startups. I had this immense privilege of working for a number of technical startups in the internet age for many years, for up to 7 years since. And I got a front row seat to the technology disruption that we're seeing today, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So, all of this realization, the quote, "You can't be what you can't see," led me to understand the role of women entrepreneurs today. And that's what my company that I've co-founded, The Next Billion, does. We are all about amplifying women-led businesses across the world. So if you look at this story, a third of women entrepreneurs make a third of global entrepreneurs. We are underfunded, undervalued, under-realized. By 2020, 1 billion women are entering the economy as producers, as entrepreneurs, as creators, and we need to make it successful, make it possible for them to be successful, because their success, we're vested in it. So what are we doing about that? So at The Next Billion, we are all about amplifying women-led businesses with access to growth opportunities, access to visibility, access to funding, access to networks and skills. This is an interesting stat. When it comes to media, when it comes to economics, women feature in stories that are about 5% of the whole media. So when the news is on the economy or business, women are only featured in 5% of the stories. So if we cannot see these women making this economic impact, how can we be them? And so this is my work around Globally Spotted, where we bring together women-led businesses and give them access to amazing entrepreneurs in their city. globally spotted is our directory of smart, innovative, inventive business owners across the world who happen to be led by women. This brings me to sort of another part that I'm intensely passionate about. I'm faculty at Tech Futures Lab, an innovative educational facility here in Auckland that aims to help Kiwis navigate technology careers and the next wave of technology disruption coming at us. So it seems like you cannot be what you cannot see also applies to machines and computers. So what is happening here, and something that we all have to realize, is that artificial intelligence, Siri or Alexa or all of those sort of tools that we use every day, they learn. They learn from the data that they're fed. They learn from your user behavior. So what happens if all of the data they're fed is biased? They learn the biases. So if we as SUPERdiverse women are not at the table helping define and design these technology systems, what do you think will happen? It's a very critical question. And so this example up on the screen here, so this was a really stark example of a black engineer who's designed facial recognition systems. And they use code that is sort of a generic code that has been programmed or programmed by by other engineers. And when you use code like that, her facial recognition technology couldn't recognize her face because there wasn't enough contrast, because that's not what the code was used to. The majority of the engineers are white male. So these are sort of the inherent biases that we are feeding technology. And this is everywhere. I mean, we talk about Alexa and Siri, and why are they given female personas? Why are a chatbot that helps, that cares, that answers questions, that's supportive, why are they female personas? So it's a very interesting thing. I mean, it seems like there's a bias there, but I want to flip that question and say, yes, we understand that Alexa has to be caring, and so we give Alexa a female persona, or Siri. Why can't we flip that and use that same sort of thinking for all of the products and applications we design? Why can't that have the same feminine qualities of caring and nurturing that we need today? We don't need all masculine energy, we need feminine energy too, so which will only make it much, much better. So it's just we need to flip those sort of norms that are in society, I think. It's not bad to be caring, so I'm glad Alexa's caring, but can we flip that to extend that to everything, the way we design? So it's designed for everyone, it's inclusive. And unless we are at the table, unless we are, participating in these conversations about technology and design, and we choose tech careers, we're not going to have a say in this. And we have a lot of sort of preconceived notions about a person in a technology career. I have a career in technology, and my path is anything but. I didn't get a degree in computer science. I didn't code, but I still have a full-fledged degree in technology. I run platforms. I teach in a sector about technology, and I use that every day in my business. I am a tech person. So I think that we have to sort of take away the notions that this is how a career in tech looks like, and we need to add our voice to the conversation. So this is sort of the other aspect of what I'm talking about. We're seeing a future where nearly 50% of our jobs worldwide, on average, could be lost to automation in a very short time. So how are we going to take that step towards making sure our careers, our work are ready, are future ready? And this is some of the work that I'm doing with Tech Futures Labs, is how can we enable Kiwis to thrive in these jobs. And the really cool part about what we've done, and this is relatively new, we had our first cohort in February this year. And what was amazing is we had 60% women who enrolled in this program, which was an amazing stat for a program that said Masters of Applied Practice in Technology Futures. So that itself was a real win for us, because the way we had structured the conversation and the language around the program made it very inclusive, and I'm really proud of that stat. Another thing that I'm working on that I just wanted to share, it's really new, is a model for universal basic income that I'm working on, and it's not launched yet, but close to. So I'm thinking about what happens when we have a future that is less reliant on jobs. Our entire vision, our entire identities are tied to what we do. The first question we ask people is, what do you do? Where you work? So when we look at a potential future that could be very different from what we are used to, how does that change our society? How does that change our daily interactions when the main thing that identifies us is not going to be the same? So if you think about potential for a jobless future, what is an alternative for us to thrive as a society? You may have heard of universal basic income, but what can that universal basic income model look like? So my project with us all is a unique aspect where we're raising, by raising questions and investing in the human potential, in helping people raise their cognitive abilities, and earning money through micropayments is an application we are looking to launch soon. So that was sort of what I wanted to share with you. My own diverse journey has hopefully would inspire many people, and that's why I've taken it upon myself that with all of the hundreds of women who've inspired me and who've helped me see what I can be, I hope I can do the same. Thank you.